zone.
What's the process you used?
You can control the starting. As you see, green is our input. The red line is our extend. The white is our retract on the graph. You just go reverse, and it'll reverse on a dime. This allows for, if you want to put this into a vehicle,
Nobody can use it.
if you want to put this into a vehicle, you can use all 6 of your forward motion gears in reverse. You just reverse your motor. This is impossible to do with the combustion engine. And you can also stop. Any questions?
I think another important feature, and it was hidden in some of the graphics there, but they're getting power on both sides of the cylinder. That's not something you get in a gas engine. When the gas engine explodes the fuel, you're getting power in only one direction. With this, you're powering both sides, so you get twice the effort. It's like having a 6-cylinder car with only 3 cylinders.
How does it compare torque-wise for input as to combustion?
Well, it's it would probably, with this, I don't know the exact torque of a 6-cylinder engine with cylinders of 1-inch diameter. I don't know of any that exist, first off. So I don't have a direct comparison that I can give you.
Well, you're producing theoretically 60 foot-pounds, right? Something like that.
Yeah, something
Per
like
cylinder. Yeah, so there's some added. Anyway, I don't know offhand what a. Yeah.
Total was around 70 or 80.
Yeah.
Is that on the output shaft?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out,
Yeah.
out here.
I mean, it's more than enough to do some significant work if you wanted to lift something or do something.
That was by calculation, not by a measurement, though?
Yeah,
Or
the
input?
cost.
You didn't have a torque gauge?
No, we don't have
No.
dynamo.
We didn't want to.
Dynamo.
We didn't have the
Yep.
budget for a $300 sensor. So,
Eventually, we'll get there.
yeah, maybe.
But if you want to try to stop it, go ahead. It's hard to stop. It'll do some serious work. And again, this is a demonstrator model. You know, if this was actually going in an automobile, it would probably be designed with larger pistons and different offset on the crankshaft and all of that to get more torque. But it's more than enough for what we need. And again, it demonstrates a concept. And the concept is really based on the idea that what if we didn't want to use batteries or volatile fuels as our fuel source? What would be a safe way to store energy? And a lot of people are coming up with the idea to just compress gases, because think about it, there's no waste byproduct from this. We're compressing air and then it's just vented back into the atmosphere. There's no waste product. The downside is you got to compress the air. So how do you compress the air and how do you store it? Those technologies have to be investigated next.
Bike pumps.
Yeah, that's right. Get all the teenagers pumping up like no. But you could imagine, you know, windmills, for example, are intermittent energy generating devices. But what if you use them to compress air and store that in tanks? And then you go to your tank and fill up your car from your compressed air tank. It wouldn't matter that you don't have wind every day, because you would have stored air there from previous days. And so, you know, a machine like this only makes sense if you have that other capability as well. But other countries are looking at it, and so we thought it'd be fun to build one and see what it's like.
Or if you had solar to run some type of a small air compressor that would recharge your fuel
Yep.
tank of air.
Exactly.
What's the pressure you're running this off of right now?
40.
40?
We designed it for 40 pounds, which was the requirement for our customer.
What was what we had available?
It was also available for the labs. Right now, it's being
Theoretically, low
regulated.
pressure is
Yeah.
creating
Yeah.
relatively high torque.
So
any
You know-
correlation between the storage volume versus the runtime?
They're about 160 back here.
Good answer.
Yeah.
How big an air tank does it take to store as much energy as a 20-gallon gas?
You ever calculate that? What little research I did, they're storing a lot of, they're storing at much higher pressures than we are here, you know, and so they're compressing it quite a bit. So the size of the tank isn't the issue; it's what pressure they get to.
It's the weight, actually,
And-
probably the
well, the
steel
weight,
or how.
yeah, yeah. You know, and I've had discussions with people. I'm not a structural engineer, so you can ignore everything I say on this. But the fact is, it's really, I think it's really an energy problem. You have a ton of energy in that gas tank that you carry around in your back seat of your car.
Density.
And yeah, energy density. And so it would have to be a comparable energy density of compressed air that you'd have to carry around. Now, that might take a 1-inch plate steel tank to do it. But once it's designed, presumably it would be designed for safety in mind, and it wouldn't be any more dangerous than driving around with that tank full of fuel. There's also a lot of research in carbon fibers and exotic materials, and so you could imagine coming up with an interesting shaped tank in some futuristic material that wouldn't actually weigh what a 1-inch plate steel tank would weigh. So, you know, this is all being explored. It's being thought about. The futurists are thinking about this. The thing that's really driving this, from my point of view, is it's perfectly clean source of energy. There is no byproduct, you know, and so it's worth exploring with that in mind. You know, think about all those lithium batteries we have to recycle in the Priuses, and think about all the hydrocarbons we're burning now. If we could ever move to a point where we had compressed air available in large volumes, you could use as much as you want, and it wouldn't pollute the environment. You couldn't pollute the environment.
And you could
So
use this
that would be a good
to
thing.
power a generator to create electricity.
You would need to come up with a way. Yeah, you could run generators from it. You could do all kinds of stuff. But this represents one possible use of that compressed air, and there's some neat side effects. So, you know, the fact that you can reverse it is kind of cool. So you reduce the size of your transmission. Once they get some speed regulation in there, you would actually not need a clutch. You would start at 0 and speed up. You know, so adding the pressure regulator will give this thing a lot of capabilities that you don't have now with an internal combustion engine. So it's new technology.
How does it stack up with a turbine?
I haven't thought about that. One thing I read, which was an interesting problem of it, is because you're allowing air to expand, it cools. And so one of the neat side effects of this is it actually runs cool as opposed to running hot. And they've actually had to add heaters because it runs too cool. Maybe you have built-in air conditioning in your vehicles.
You need a gas burner in your car?
So you have to have a heater, yeah. So it's interesting stuff. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming, and you know, I want to give a lot of thanks for the families of these students that have helped get them here and put up with our abuse of their time in making them do these projects for ridiculous hours. But we thank them, and we thank all of you, and we thank you all for coming. And if you have any questions, you know, feel free to ask the students. Check out the website, vdc.edu/ELM. There's more stuff about all this stuff there. And, you know, just give us a call if you have any questions. Thank you.